Hello, Rock Bottom Basics of Guitar Playing, Lesson 0.7. This lesson covers more about chords, specifically what to do with them as a beginner. And right from the beginning you have to think about division of labour. In the old days when I started as a teenager, you would have a rhythm guitar player who would play the chords. You would have a lead guitar player who would play solos and riffs and fills. Nowadays that's really not going to happen in the short term. So I would say, while learning scales and learning about solos, the way to start is just by playing chords. A chord progression which is simple, in other words not too many changes at the beginning. Just two chords, a song with two chords in would be best. The people who don't do division of labour are your typical singer-songwriters who write the songs, play rhythm and lead lines, usually in the form of finger style, and sing. Don't try this at home, not yet. So, how to press your fingers down and actually make a chord. This is the hardest thing. One of the hardest things of all in learning to play the guitar is to be able to quickly get your fingers to the positions to make the chord that you want to strum. And the positions for your fingers for certain chords, they're all over the internet. So you just have to look at somewhere like Ultimate Guitar, or even better actually, and more reliably, look at some of the people who are teaching you how to play songs. Justin Guitar, for instance, Marty Schwartz. Oh, and I should say as well, original artists, people like James Taylor, are right now releasing videos of exactly how to play their songs. What you should aim for as a beginner right now is just to play a simple chord progression, 2 chords, maybe 3, and learn how to strum with a nice even rhythm, and do it as slow as you like. So choose a song, find the chord diagrams for where your fingers should go, and start practicing getting your fingers to those positions. I'll actually show you an example myself in a minute. E major chord is like this. First finger is on the 3rd string, 1st fret. The 3rd finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and the 2nd finger is on the 5th string, 2nd fret. That is a real mouthful to say, but here we go. It's an L-shaped chord. What you're aiming for is to be able to put all fingers down simultaneously. Here's the other chord, A major, which is just these three strings here, but usually played with 3 fingers. Now those 2 chords, slow as you like, put your fingers in the right place, and then strum. And again. And again. And then the chord that goes so often with that E is what I just showed you, the A major. And again. And again. It's very hard to see, isn't it, on the camera? Chord diagrams are everywhere. If you go onto the internet and just put in the word chords and then the name of a song, then usually there's small chord diagrams at the top. Using those 2 chords we can play Buffalo Springfield. If you're wondering what songs you might try, there are some kind of classics for beginners. Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. Free Falling by Tom Petty. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Many songs by Bob Dylan are very playable. A lot of songs by Paul Simon don't need anything more than the chords to be strummed, and you know which song you're playing. There are some artists who are great but tend towards complicated sets of chord changes and probably to be avoided at the moment, and for instance Elton John's famous songs, hard to play for a beginner. And I should say that straight away, as soon as you think of a song that you like and then look it up on the net to find out how to play the chords, you will find that straight away they won't just be the basic chords of A, B, C, D, E, F, G major. There'll be minor chords, there'll be sevenths, ninths. Don't worry, don't be afraid of a chord, don't be afraid of learning a chord just because it has a fancy and complicated name. It's still only played by 4 fingers at the most. Bar chords are something else. That's where you use your first finger of your fretting hand to lay down a bar across all the strings and then a chord shape below that. They're too advanced right now for a beginner, but I'll come to them in a later lesson. For me, the most important reason to look at one of the good instructors showing you how to play songs on the guitar on the internet, rather than the text-based and diagram-based resources like Ultimate Guitar, is that the latter are often put up by amateurs and the chords may not be correct or may be simplified and it might sound a bit rubbish. One of the best reasons to look at the original artists or a good instructor showing you how to play things, showing you the chord shapes with their fingers on a guitar, is that you can immediately hear what it sounds like, the thing they're showing you. That's not the case for text and diagram based resources. There's also something called tablature, or tab for short, which is a bit like sheet music, but it's specifically for guitar, and it's instead of a stave, a musical stave, you have a picture of 6 strings on the paper and then the placement on each string of which fret to play in order. It has its limitations, but it's really great for solving a mystery if you're trying to work out how to play a particular riff. It's better for single note lines than it is for illustrating chords. Playing along either to a record or just to a drum track is really helpful for helping develop a sense of timing and rhythm. And it's as simple as just going on Google and here's one off YouTube. And a step beyond that is to make your own loops with a device something like this, where you can have click track, you can put bass on it, vocals, anything at all. Play some guitar and then play back and play over it. This is worth a video in its own right, so I won't go any further here. Playing along to recorded music not only helps you develop a sense of timing and rhythm, but if you play the guitar along to it and listen to what you're playing, it helps you to develop a sense of key, of being in the right key that the song is recorded in. And maybe not everybody knows, but key is, here's an example. That's on Broadway, George Benson, and there's a key change, so let's do the key change. Key change. It's the same, exactly the same chord shapes moved up a whole tone. So it's going from the key of G to the key of A. I'll talk more about keys later. Okay, that's the end of this lesson 0.7. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned to my channel for the next exciting installment in a week or so's time.